Hey guys, my name is Amanda. Welcome to my channel. I'm so happy to have you here today. In today's video, I'm going to share with you several gorgeous fall DIYs that are quick, easy to make, and also inexpensive using the majority of Dollar Tree items. If you are new to my channel, please consider subscribing. If you do subscribe, please hit that bell button so you're notified every time that I upload. Also, giving me a big thumbs up really helps me out here on YouTube. I am so excited that it is now time for fall crafting. I look forward to this all year, second only to Christmas crafting. I cannot wait to feel those breezes again and get out all these beautiful, colorful things. Let me know down below, what is your favorite part about fall? And with all of that being said, our first idea is going to be a standing pumpkin floral. Honestly, this is probably my favorite piece in this video. I just love it, and it was so easy to create. So this is a pumpkin from Dollar Tree. It is $3 from the plus section. It is a little bit larger than the traditional foam pumpkin from Dollar Tree. I have some floral picks. Another pumpkin that I was going to attach to the top of this pumpkin and use as floral foam, but I decided that was not necessary, although that's an option if you really want a large floral piece at the top. But I decided to go ahead and stick these picks right down in the top of that pumpkin after removing the stem. I then kind of moved them around a little bit. These are very bendable and movable, so you can kind of manipulate them into the place that you want them. And I did remove the berries so I could kind of put them in at different angles. Then I have some of these tiny little florals from Dollar Tree. I cut them down and I am adding them in and just fluffing and arranging them in a way that I think looks pretty. You'll have to excuse me, I don't always say the name of florals because I don't want to get it wrong, but here is some more leaves from Dollar Tree picks. At this point, I'm just kind of using what I have in my stash, and I did have these blueberries in my stash. They are from Dollar Tree, and I just thought that they would be gorgeous and kind of bring out the blue and the green, so I added those in. And then I have these blue and green sweater pumpkins from Dollar Tree that I cut down. I also ended up adding a cream one, as I really do like to add things in odd numbers, so I just kind of put the blue one in the middle, and then I have the cream and green one on either side that I push down in there. And it is so easy to push things into this pumpkin, and I just think that this looks so pretty. I did happen to find these tiny little berries in my stash, so I cut them down and added them in. I thought that was perfect. And then I had this Dollar Tree candlestick that I had painted with truffle chalk paint and distressed with Waverly plaster for another project. I was going to repaint it, but I thought, you know what, this is perfect. I then added 4 pieces of the Dollar Tree foam tape. Comes in a square shape, and it is just absolutely perfect to attach this pumpkin to my candlestick, and I can remove it anytime that I like. But here's what this looks like. Absolutely customizable to any color and florals that you like. You could use an orange pumpkin and different colored smaller pumpkins at the top. So here's the idea. I really hope that you like it, and keep in mind it is super customizable. Okay, let's make an inexpensive barrel tray using Dollar Tree items. This is what it looks like. I think it is so gorgeous. It looks like an old apple barrel or something like that, and it will add some height to our decor. So we're going to start with these 2 barrel planters from Dollar Tree for $1.25. And originally I had tried to put some like popsicle sticks, tongue depressor sticks on the inside of one and then fit the other one on top of it. I had trouble doing that, honestly, so I just broke those popsicle sticks off, and I just decided to glue these together the old-fashioned way by adding glue to one and placing the other on top of it. Of course, if you want to try with the popsicle sticks, that is up to you, but this worked just fine for me. I just wiped off any excess glue with my finger, but of course you should use a finger protector if your fingers are sensitive. And then I took a wood round from Dollar Tree, painted it black and just placed it on top. And this is what it looks like. If you want to glue it down, you totally could, but I just sat mine on there and I think it looks gorgeous and I love how it elevates my decor. Okay, our next idea is some gorgeous glass pumpkins using Dollar Tree items. I know I am not the first creator to make something similar to this. My friend Stephanie over at Mommy Can Make It made light up pumpkins out of these jars last year, or these glass containers last year, but I decided to just leave the lids on, and to the top I'm just going to glue these wood stems that I purchased at Dollar Tree. Now you could fill this with potpourri or even with candies or whatever you like. I'm not quite sure what I want to do with mine yet. Even a tea light candle would be pretty. I'm using this pick from Dollar Tree and I'm trying to kind of cluster together the same colors on each one. For example, I have one with primarily orange and a little bit of green, one with mostly burgundies, and then one with mostly green with a little bit of orange. So each one is just a little bit different. I have 3 leaves glued on there like so. I'm just being careful to get them placed how I want them. And so this is what this looks like, but you can customize these any way you want. Now this berry garland is from Dollar Tree. I'm just going to wind some around my finger and then I'm going to place it around that wood stem and kind of twist it so I have a curly Q on either side, and then you have some gorgeous little vines for your pumpkins. Now you can do this even more if you wanted to further embellish by adding a little tag to this or even a little label to the front of the jar, so the sky is the limit. I just kept mine fairly plain because I'm not quite sure where I want to go with them or how I want to do that. So let me know what you would do if you make this project. Next we have a potpourri wreath, and I love how this came out quick and easy. Again, I am probably not the first creator to do this. I'm not quite sure who to give credit to, but I love this idea and I think it is really pretty. So I got this wreath form and this potpourri, however you say that, from Dollar Tree. This is an apple smelling one, but they do have several different colors. I'm just going to spray my wreath form with a brown paint that I had on hand, brown spray paint, and I'm only doing this in case any of the potpourri has gaps between it, then you don't see that green color. But you could hand paint this if you wanted to too, just to get a neutral colored base. And then this is so simple, just glue your pieces on. Now I used 2 bags only because I wanted more larger pieces, but if you don't mind using a ton of teeny tiny small pieces, you could totally do this with 1 bag. And I'm going to show you what I did with my excess, as I did have a lot left over, but you're literally just gluing this around. So I did a bunch of larger pieces around, and then I came in with some smaller pieces. I did glue some toward the inside and some toward the outside, so that when you are hanging this up, if you look at this from different angles, all you see is that potpourri, and this smells so nice. It looks so pretty. I think it is perfect for fall, but I think it could even fold over into Christmas. So just using this hot glue and gluing around. So a little tip for you, if you have a lot of hot glue strings when you are done, you could simply take your heat gun and pass over those areas and that will melt the glue strings. So here is what my wreath looks like. I think it is so pretty. I think the colors look absolutely gorgeous with all of these oranges for fall. Let me know what you think. Now let me show you what I did with the leftover of that potpourri. I just made a little decorative air freshener bag. So I'm going to be using some fabric from Dollar Tree, some burlap fabric. I like this because it had holes in it and I thought it would let the smell come through better, but you could use any fabric that you like. I just cut a strip of it and it was already kind of folded like this, so I thought that was okay. I would just fold it over in the back to create a seam. So here I am adding some glue, and then I'm just pulling it a little bit tighter so it overlaps like so. Now please don't be like me. Use some finger protectors to protect your fingers. So here's what I have, kind of this tube shape, and now I am going to flip it inside out so I can create a seam for the bottom without it looking funny. So once I get it folded inside out, I am then going to kind of trim it up a little bit, make it a little bit straighter, and then I'm just going to use some hot glue along that one end. Once that that is done, I will press it together firmly, and once it is dry, I will flip it right side out. You want to wait until it is dry, otherwise you'll have a nasty gluey mess on your hands, literally probably on your hands, and we don't want that. So once it is dry, flip it back inside out or outside in, and then you have a adorable little bag, and you can go ahead and scoop your potpourri in there, and it's just, I think, a great idea. I love this. So here we are, just scooping it in, and once you get the amount that you like, then you just want to close it up. So I'm going to use some hot glue to close it up, and then again I'm just going to trim off the excess. So you could make your bag as large or as small as you want. You could make your bag kind of short and stubby like mine, or you could make it tall and skinny. Really, the sky is the limit. Use your creativity. Use any shape of bag that you like. I just decorated it with some Dollar Tree rope by taking a strip of rope and tying a knot in either end. You can do your rope hanger as long or as short as you want it. You do not have to tie these little knots. I just think that it looks decorative and pretty. So once that is done, you're going to want to glue them down and trim them up the way that you think they look nice. So I trim them up. I am going to use hot glue to glue them down to the front of my bag, just a generous amount, pressing it and holding it until it is completely dry. Once that is done, you can embellish this further any way that you like. I'm going to be using some Dollar Tree ribbon to do this, but you could use a bigger bow, you could use some leaves, florals, whatever you think, even a thicker ribbon. This is just a Dollar Tree burlap trim that I thought was pretty. So I glued it on one end, flipped it over and glued it on the other. I did tack it down a little bit in the middle too, just to make sure that it was going to stay in place. I made a little bow out of this very same ribbon and glued it up in the side there to make it look pretty. And this is as simple as I left mine. I think it looks great and such a nice idea to reuse some of that potpourri. Next, let's move into a large Dollar Tree pumpkin with florals. So I wanted to make a larger pumpkin out of Dollar Tree foam pumpkins, and this is how I decided to do it. I took 2 foam pumpkins from Dollar Tree. I cut one in half, removed the stem. I left the stem on the middle one. I then took some white felt from Dollar Tree and some ribbon that I liked. Now I am using this masking tape to attach like so, but I would recommend using duct tape. I just didn't have any on hand, so I went around all 3 of these pieces, and then I also covered up the grooves where they attach because I didn't want big divots in my pumpkin. I am trying to make this as smooth as possible, so that is why I used all of this tape. Once that is done, I'm going to wrap my little pumpkin concoction in this Dollar Tree felt to again kind of pat it a little bit and not make such sharp divots. So I'm wrapping the sides, and once I get both sides wrapped, I'm going to cut off the remaining piece, which I'm going to use for the top. The bottom I just glue down to the shape here, and then I flip it over and I go ahead and form the top as much as possible with my hot glue, just tucking in the pieces. And then I take this excess piece and glue it right over top. Now at this point it looks a little strange, but bear with me. I think it absolutely turns out gorgeous. I then use my scissors to poke right through that felt and through the stem of the middle pumpkin. I also use my X-Acto knife to kind of carve out a little bit of a hole until you get a large enough space that all of your fabric is going to fit down in there. I then set my pumpkin on top of the Dollar Tree fabric, and I began tugging and pulling and folding, starting on one side and working my way around to the other side. This is not hard. It'll just come together for you, and you'll see where you need to pleat. If there's any places that you need a little bit of help with, you can use dabs of hot glue. I did have to use a couple dabs of hot glue in certain places. to get the fabric to lay exactly how I wanted it. Then I took 3 whole cinnamon sticks that I had in my pantry and shoved them right down in the middle, and that made everything firm and stay in place. I also added a little hot glue. It was still a little bit loose, so I added another loose piece of, well, half piece of cinnamon stick to that stem to make it nice and full. I then went around my stem a few times with this jute twine, and that just added a really nice finishing touch, I feel like. I cut off the excess and tacked down that end. Then I came in with some leaves that I had in my stash from Dollar Tree. And in the beginning, I was just going to decorate one side. So I do show you what that looks like. And then I show you what I decided to do. So I put leaves on one side. I added a little twine bow, and here's what it looks like. If you're more of a simplistic decorator and you like it just like this, there's that idea. But for me, I took some of this Dollar Tree pitberry and I curled it on either side. I placed the middle between curls around my cinnamon stick and I glued it down, and then I arranged my curls how I wanted them. This just adds a beautiful touch, I feel like. So once that is done, of course, I have added leaves to the other side of this pumpkin. And I had these beautiful little florals that I wanted to add in. So I added one of these almost sunflower looking florals. That is a beautiful orangey color to either side. And then I just kind of strategically placed these other small flowers here and there where I liked them. I did kind of trim them down so they weren't sticking out too wildly. But then once I am done and I get these exactly how I want them, here is my absolutely beautiful Dollar Tree pumpkin using 2 Dollar Tree foam pumpkins. And again, this is super customizable. Dollar Tree has many fabrics that you could use to customize this pumpkin, as well as florals. And for just a few dollars, we have a gorgeous, unique pumpkin. Okay, let's jump into the next DIY. For this one, I am going to be using a large wreath form that was gifted to me made of twigs, but you can find wreath forms like this at the thrift store or in your stash, but Dollar Tree has wire wreath forms that this would work with, or even smaller twig wreath forms. They also have a straw type wreath form in the plus section. So I then took one of these $3 foam. Sorry, it's not foam, it is fabric, which is what I was trying to say. Pumpkin from the plus section, and I just used them floral twine to tightly wrap it around where the grooves of that pumpkin are and attach it in the back. So I can remove this pumpkin if I need to or want to. I then put a little hole in another velvet pumpkin from Dollar Tree for $1.25, and I stuck in a piece of floral stem, and that way I can use that to kind of pick this into this wreath. I also did this stem technique with a couple of other pumpkins from Dollar Tree. Here's another beautiful velvet one, a little orange velvet one that's a bit smaller, and a couple of sparkly orange ones from Dollar Tree as well. Then I'm going to take apart a couple of leaf picks from Dollar Tree and just kind of pick them in on either side of these pumpkins and also in between, just where I think they would look nice, and spread them out as much as possible to make this look as full as possible. Once that is done, I'm going to add in some of these florals that I had popped off the stems, this beautiful orangey color and also this creamy type color with burlap leaves. I think is absolutely gorgeous, and I'm tucking these on either side of my pumpkins, trying to kind of keep it uniform. I'm trying to go back and forth, one on either side, and just using little dabs of hot glue, but you could leave the stem on there and pick them in if you wanted to. Then I have some of this beautiful burgundy eucalyptus that I'm going back and forth and adding to either side, and then I also have some of these berries from Dollar Tree that I'm picking in on either side. I think they add the perfect touch. So I did leave the stem on these, and then I have some more little tiny florals from Dollar Tree that I'm picking in. And here is what this looks like. I think it is beautiful, and all of these pumpkins can be removed and reused. So I hope that you like this as much as I do. You can make it on a smaller scale, like I said, or even use one of the 18-inch wreaths from Dollar Tree covered in burlap and make it almost this size. So again, I hope you like this one. It's such a beautiful statement piece for a wall, indoor, or on a covered porch, or if you have a large door. Okay guys, let's jump right into the next DIY, another large wreath made with Dollar Tree items, except for this base. This base was gifted to me, but Dollar Tree does have a slightly smaller straw wreath in their plus section for $3, which is also quite large. I have this Hello Autumn sign from Dollar Tree, so I'm removing the twine at the top and I'm gluing the side of it down to my straw wreath form. I am then flipping it over and reinforcing the back with some Jenga blocks from Dollar Tree stacked too high. Again, you could use any type of wreath form that you like. This just worked out perfectly for me. Once my sign is stabilized to my wreath form, I flip it over and I do add a couple of Jenga blocks there at the bottom underneath the sign, touching the form, just to make sure that it is not budging on me. Then I took this fabric pumpkin from the plus section of Dollar Tree, but again, you could just use the $1.25 pumpkins if you liked. I just thought this was perfect. And once again, I used floral wire to attach this by just pulling it tightly through these little curves and attaching it at the bottom. I'm sorry if I am stumbling over my words a little bit, you guys. You probably know what I'm going to say if you are not new to my channel, and that is I need another coffee. So here I have these beautiful leaves in my stash. These particular leaves came from Hobby Lobby in a bag, and they were very inexpensive, 50% off, but of course Dollar Tree has very many leaves to choose from as well. Then I'm taking some of these sweater pumpkins from Dollar Tree that came on a pick. I removed them off, and also a few smaller pumpkins that I had in my stash. So as you can see, I put 3 on either side of my larger pumpkin. Then I came in with some of these little corn husks that I had in my stash. Again, I purchased corn husks from Hobby Lobby, but Dollar Tree does have similar items that you could use if you like. So most of these florals are from Dollar Tree, as well as the large pumpkin and the sign, which is why I said this is a Dollar Tree wreath. But like I said, the wreath form and the husks are from Hobby Lobby, but Dollar Tree does have similar things you can use. So this is kind of a Dollar Tree DIY. I'm just adding a little bit of a disclaimer there. But these beautiful sunflowers and these beautiful little flowers that I'm adding right now are also Dollar Tree florals. They are absolutely stunning. I thought these colors just pop together and look so nice. So I'm just arranging them here and there where I think is necessary. As you can see, I try to go kind of in a zigzag pattern with these florals. Then I'm adding some of these beautiful tiny burgundy florals. Now I'm beginning on my bow. So I had this absolutely gorgeous pumpkin ribbon from Dollar Tree that's a little thicker than most of their ribbon, or a little wider, I should say. I did my X formation bow by just folding over twice on either side so it looks like an X. I placed that down and repeated the process with some burlap ribbon I had on hand. Dollar Tree carries burlap ribbon as well. I created another X and stacked it on top. I am then going to take some more of this Dollar Tree ribbon and this beautiful pattern. Once again, I am going to create an X and stack that on top. Once all of my beautiful ribbons are stacked, I'm going to take a piece of twine and I'm going to tie it tightly in the middle. The tighter that you tie your twine, the more you can fluff out your bow. And in my opinion, the more your bow is fluffed, the the better it looks. Once that is done, you can go ahead and attach this to your beautiful wreath. I do want to say, once again, all of these ribbons are Dollar Tree. So this is basically, in my opinion, I feel comfortable saying Dollar Tree wreath, but I did add that disclaimer. I try to be as real with you guys as I possibly can here on my channel, and I also try to keep things as budget friendly and affordable as possible. I have 6 kiddos and 3 dogs, so I know all about trying to keep things budget friendly and affordable. Okay, so now my bow is attached, and I'm just going to take 2 more pieces of that beautiful pumpkin ribbon, and I kind of pleat it at the top with a little bit of hot glue and attach it to either side under my bow to form tails. I then cut a triangle upward on either side to give my bow tails a beautiful boutique finish. I add a little pumpkin that was on a clip from Dollar Tree. Of course, I removed the clip, tuck that in the middle of my bow. And here is what my absolutely gorgeous Hello Autumn beautiful wreath looks like. I know that might have been a little bit of overkill with the gorgeous and the beautiful, but in my opinion, it really is. I'm very proud of this one, you guys. It was so easy and fun to create. I'm honestly in my element when I'm working with florals, and I love the fact that I can remove this larger pumpkin should I choose. So let me know what you think in the comments. So that is it for me. Here is a brief review of everything we made today. Our large foam pumpkin, our gorgeous wreaths that are so easy and customizable to make, our standing pumpkin floral piece, as well as that potpourri wreath and our apple barrel stand or riser, as well as, of course, these glass pumpkins. Let me know down below which was your favorite. Thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to give me a big thumbs up. I'll see you soon, friends. Take care.
You can subscribe to my mom's channel, and thank you for watching today's craft and stay safe.